This is Brian Perry with Perry Home Solutions of Keller Williams Innovations. I would like to bring you a brand new January 2024 market review update. So let's begin. So in the market, I'm basically looking at some numbers from the totality of 2023, and I just want to share a couple things. This is the Palm Beach County snapshot. All the realtors, love sharing this one. So a couple of stats here that I think are kind of interesting. In the year of 2023, home sales, single-family home sales, were down 8.3%, and median sales prices were up 4.6%. That's weird because usually those don't work that way, right? Condos and townhouses, those sales were down 12%, and the median sales price in that category was up 6.9%. I've got a little bit more data here. This is kind of what we use. It's a little bit more granular as far as some of the metrics. So my numbers show in Palm Beach County, all sales were up inventory for sale was up 30% over the year, and number of sold homes was down 25%. So, and also what's really fun is my little graph here, and this is a 15-year graph, and it just kind of shows inventory, which are these large light green lines, versus sales, which are these dark green lines. And what I tell all of my clients when I'm walking them through the market is, when COVID hit and all the craziness was going on, yeah, buying went up quite a bit. But if you look at this chart, buying wasn't the real story. It was the inventory and the lack thereof. And we still have low inventory. That's why home sales are down and prices are up. In previous markets, it was the opposite. Once home sales went down, the prices started to come down as well. And so that's like a weird thing. So anyway, that's kind of the overview of the market. And I wanted to kind of touch on a couple of key little points here that I've highlighted. The average 30-year fixed rate fell to 6.6%. That's the lowest level since May of 2023. So that was a big deal. It hit a high of 7.79% in October. And again, for frame of reference, we came from rates that were below 3% in 2021, 2022. I don't remember the exact when those hit exactly. But so that to get to 7.79 was significant. But we've gone from 7.79 all the way down to 6.6, which is a pretty significant drop, Economists are optimistic that the Federal Reserve is done with its rate hiking campaign to lower inflation. So that's another big thing because the mortgage market prices their rates by anticipating what they think rates are going to be. And so if the common wisdom amongst the economists is that rates are coming down, then that's going to bode well for interest rates. Very likely. We'll see, A couple other interesting little tidbits from my review of the market. The housing stock, the inventory across the country remains at historic lows, especially entry-level supply. And so that's been a challenge. As a matter of fact, some other notes that I have, I believe I had a note that last year was one of the slowest real estate years as far as number of sales in, I think, 3 decades, something like that. Research, yes, check. Okay, 3 decades, yes. Research, you don't speak, you just nod. I'm just kidding. Okay, a couple of the quick little hits here. Prices were 40% higher compared to February 2020. Today versus February 2020, 40% higher. So that's what is that? Is that a few years? Research. Okay, a couple other quick things. Today's homeowners stand on much more secure footing than those coming out of 2008. This is we're kind of looking at, is it possible for the real estate market to crash? Of course, anything's possible, but they're kind of examining the likelihood of that happening. And remember, back in 2008, a lot of people got some really bad loans. In other words, they didn't have the income and assets to support those loans. And then housing prices dropped precipitously. They had no equity, and that was a problem. So we're not in that situation at this moment. So a crash like 2008 is very unlikely at this point. However, there are a couple of points that you want to keep in mind. Foreclosure activity is only at about 60% of its pre-pandemic levels. However, foreclosure filings were up 5% from last year. So they're still relatively low, but they've sort of been on the incline, so we have to watch those. Also, 80% of today's homeowners have more than 20% equity in their property. That's what I was referring to, when comparing it to 2008. Couple of tips for buyers and sellers. I think these tips are from Forbes. For buyers, one tip, get all your ducks in a row in advance so you can act quickly. Review your financial situation, gather documents, shop multiple lenders, and strengthen your credit score. You want to do this before you buy the house. A lot of people, they want to find the house first and then figure out the financing later. The problem is, you're going to find a house that's going to be nice. Everybody else is going to want it. And by the time you get all this stuff ready and you get all your ducks in a row, somebody else bought the house. So talk to us about that, because we're really good about getting our buyers in order to make sure they're in the best place to take advantage of the market. And another tip for buyers, know how much your monthly payment will be with taxes and how well that fits into your budget. Another important reason to have this all worked out ahead of time, okay? I don't like my buyers going in there and being shocked at what they're having to pay or other things in that process. That's not good. Couple tips for sellers. Shameless, plug. Work with a real estate agent to get your pricing right. Get your home in shape to sell sooner rather than later. The condition and the showability of the house is important. On that note, another tip is set up your home's curb appeal, which is incredibly important right now. Okay, y'all, if anybody has any questions on any of those or the current market or anything of that nature, feel free to reach out to us. Make sure to subscribe to our Facebook page, Perry Home Solutions. Facebook, I don't know how that works, but that's what it's called. And then, and we post all kinds of important market information there, not only national, but also, really important local stuff that you need to be aware of. Anyway, stay tuned. We got more coming up. Talk to everybody soon. Bye.